Hello, I'm Rhett Power, your host of Power Lunch Live here on LinkedIn. We do this program every Tuesday through Friday around 12 noon, and if the technology gods let us get the program on the air. And we broadcast on LinkedIn, we broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and probably some other things that I don't even know about. Now, the point of the show is to have today's thought leaders, best-selling authors, people who are doing amazing work in the world, people that we can learn from, and to do better, to get better at what we do. Now, today is a special show. Now, we've got, this is the first time we've ever attempted to have people coming in and out of the show and to do it like this. But this is an important show because we're here with the founders and some of the beneficiaries of a program called Keep Small Strong. And I'm going to put up the graphic here in just a minute with the website and the hashtag. But this organization is doing amazing work to help save our small businesses, to help them transform themselves to survive in sort of this new reality that we're all living in. And I've got Jim Butler, who's going to sort of co-host with me today. Jim was one of the people who got this movement started. I've got Adi Pandarangan. I'm sorry.
Adi is fine, right?
Adi, hey Adi. Sorry about the name. I'm awful. I can't even pronounce my own name sometimes. I've got Brian Schulman on here for a few minutes from Voice Revive. I'm sure you all know Brian. And so it's a pleasure to have you guys. We're gonna have a bunch of people on the show today, but I wanted to start with you, Jim. What is Keep Small Strong? What is it? What is the organization?
So thanks, Rhett, and really thank you for giving us the exposure today on your show. And I know that technically it'll go perfectly because we have a technologist on the phone. That's Adi, not me. Keep Small Strong is really a collective effort created during this pandemic, so it's brand new, really to save small businesses, right? So what you may or may not know is that 45% of the U.S. GDP comes from small businesses, right? And 2/3 of all new jobs that are created are small businesses, right? So these are real people that have invested so much of their lives into developing these businesses, but they're supporting large groups of people that were employed by them at one point. So our purpose really is that we want small businesses to continue to stand strong and remain in place well beyond this pandemic, right? So we all have our favorite places, my bakery, my pizza place, my hair salon. As you can tell, I definitely need one of those. But really, it's the fabric of this country. And, really, what would life look like if they weren't around, right? What happens when the shelter in place goes away and we're able to hit the streets and all these businesses are not open, not available to us? And the government funding has been really amazing as it relates to small businesses, and they're doing more and more. But unfortunately, it's not enough. And unfortunately, time is not on the side of small businesses. So enter Keep Small Strong. So Adam Gross, who is the founder, and he should take all the credit for this, started to reach out to former colleagues. I've known him for 20 plus years, back from working in this digital space for many, many years. And he called other colleagues, former colleagues. Many of us are competitors that get together 2 times a day to talk about how do we help small businesses completely pro bono, bringing some of the expertise that we've developed over the years working with major firms to these small businesses. And it's really been an amazing sort of movement that has brought together, everything from AgnoStack to Astound Commerce, Capgemini, Envoy, Good, Liveria, PFS, Pixel, and Taos. I'm part of the Liveria team and part of the PFS team, and we're really happy to be part of this. So, but I think what's really important is that I make sure I tell your audience how we're helping these small businesses, right? Everything from, it's really in 4 different categories. The first is in e-commerce, really giving them, everything from site development to helping enhance the site capabilities that they have in place right now, if they do. It's awareness, creating exposure for their brands and for their services on our marketplace, as well as through digital marketing efforts and social channels and expertise that we have there. It's also around logistics, right? So assistance with delivery and pickup and all the technology that supports the ability to do that with online properties. And then lastly, we're offering discounts and things like that through great companies like UPS that are really leaning in to the small business community and raising their hand saying, how could we help, which is just amazing. And other providers, I think it's really important. Algolia is helping us from a technology perspective, Shopify, Zendesk, and again, UPS has been fantastic also. So how can you help? For those that are watching that are not part of this, submitting a small business, I think is really helpful, right? Getting them on the marketplace, helping us understand who is in need of help, and we'll create that immediate awareness and hopefully be able to offer some of the other solutions I talked about before. Also, you can join the movement, right? It's really important for you to think about how can you help, and you don't have to be a technologist to join the movement. And then lastly is really spreading the word. Share this video, share the hashtag, and get the word out. So really happy to be part of this. I'm glad Adam called me. Adi's a great example as somebody that I had met just last year at a conference out of the blue through a mutual contact that we have. And he reached out to me during this whole thing. He had no idea what we had going on, and it had just started. And he said, "Hey, Jim, I have a little bit of downtime. I run this business, this digital business. We have a little bit of downtime. Is there anything I can do to help small businesses that you're aware of?" And I said, "Guess what? I think I do." And he's been really critical in helping us sort of drive all of the alignment across these brands that are used to doing things by themselves. All that coordination and orchestration has been done by Adi, and I really appreciate his help on that also.
Well, we wouldn't have this show today without Adi, that's for sure. Adi, I want to come back to you because I know, Brian, you've got to get off for another program. So I'll be right back because I want to ask you, Adi, about this as well. Brian Schulman, why did you get involved in this? And by the way, thank you for bringing me into this, by the way. Thank you very much. But talk about why you wanted to get involved in this in such a significant way.
Yeah, and I appreciate you, Rhett. I really do, and everyone that's involved. Like Jim had shared. Adam reached out to a bunch of us, and it had actually been a little while, and he just said, "Hey, it'd be great to catch up. Want to throw something by you?" And I think we've all said the same thing, which was, "How can we help?" I mean, literally, I think the same words came out of all of our mouths. And he said, I'm not sure if there's anything you might be able to do. And immediately it just came to my mind. And I said, you know what? I have a couple live shows in terms of programs on LinkedIn Live. And I said, I'm about to do my 100th episode of What's Good Wednesday, a show that I have on LinkedIn Live. I said, I would love to dedicate it to Keep Small Strong. I would love to get a bunch of small businesses to come and share their stories and their experiences. I would love to get folks from the collective involved to come and share why they've gotten involved, how to hit their hearts, right? Because I think that's the thing, is it's hit all of us in different ways, and yet all the same, right? All right here. And I think Thomas Aubry, or as many know him as TJ, he's the co-founder and CTO of Pixel Media, part of the collective, said it perfectly. He said, those of us with the resources and the ability to help should. And it's our duty to protect and support those searching for answers, whether that's a shoulder to lean on, or an ear to bend, a bit of inspiration, or a shared tear, because we're all in this together, and our goal is to help guide and inspire. And if not us, then who? And so leaning in and folks are asking questions and sharing the stories, and that we're here to listen and we're here to help. And I think the most important part about all this is that there's no strings attached to any of this. This is just, how can we help, right? Like Rhett, I reached out to you and I said, as soon as Adam reached out to me, I said, hey, Rhett, I know you write for Forbes and Thrive Global and Inc. and Entrepreneur. Would you be open to writing something about this incredible movement that's taking place to really help save small businesses? And it wasn't even like before it finished, you're like, absolutely, yes. And our dear friend Amy Blaschka as well. So you wrote an incredible article on Thrive Global. Amy Blaschka wrote an amazing article on Forbes. And we've been able to collectively come together with our voices, you, me, and others, to help raise awareness about Keep Small Strong and about saving small businesses. And again, as Jim shared, it's like it's my pizza parlor, it's my barbershop, it's my flower shop. We have that heartfelt association to it because these are families to us. We don't want to wake up on a Saturday morning in our sweats and go to our favorite pastry shop and it not be there, right? Then it's just a street, right? Like our friend Carolina, and we want to make sure that these families can keep thriving, right? It's not just surviving, but keep thriving and be able to service their families that come and show up and have these incredible experiences every day. So.
One of the things you said and that really got my attention, Brian, was, or somebody wrote it in a course, emails or something going back and forth on the Slack channel, but the word "my bakery" or "my barber" or "my pizza place," right? I had never thought of it in that context before, but I say the same thing. We all do it, right? Mm-hmm. But you'd never really thought of it in that sort of bigger, sort of broader way. So thank you for sort of bringing that kind of home. Whoever came up with that messaging, I think it is a brilliant way to put it, because we all do that and we all think of it in that way. Audie, why did Taos get involved? Why was this an important sort of movement for you?
Well, first, let me thank you, Rhett. Brian has been phenomenal. You've been phenomenal. You guys have been beating the drum and really sharing this message. So thanks a lot for that. For me, it really started about a month ago. As Jim mentioned, this was something which had just started to really take, really have a major impact, right? I think there are lots of, shelter in places and those kinds of things happening. And I got a call from my son's karate instructor, and basically he's like, "Hey, is he gonna come in and is he gonna do this?" I kind of politely told him, "Hey, I think given where we are with COVID right now, we don't want to really, expose him." And his answer almost shocked me at that point. He's like, "I cannot afford to not keep my doors open right now. If I close now, and I've been in business for 30 years, if I close now, I don't think I'll be able to open up again." That's my son's karate instructor, and that really jolted me almost. Took me aback. That's my son's karate instructor. That's my wife's coffee shop that she loves. That's my local watering hole that I go to, to really get some downtime. And these are the people who really are getting affected. And that's why I'm super thankful to Jim, because I'd reached out to Jim to just check, if everything was good. And, I'd reached out to all my contacts, my colleagues, my friends, my partners, to just make sure that everybody was fine. And I just like to thank him for, kind of sharing this initiative, and Adam, who's just been amazing, to really start an entire movement and to have that mindset to really reach out is just phenomenal. And that's where the whole kind of journey started for me. And the thing I really love about Keep Small Strong is, as Jim himself mentioned, right, was that these are people from potentially competitors, large agencies, all sorts of people who in their day jobs, have this, have very, very similar kind of, jobs that they do. They're all coming in together. Everybody at the end of the day is really focusing on helping businesses today, right now. And our goal is the same. We, no strings attached, and we want to pivot businesses within days. And that's what we're all kind of focused on doing right now.
That's well, thank you so much, and we do appreciate it. I want to bring in one of the people that you guys have helped, and I think I have to kick somebody off to do that.
No worries, Rhett. I'm going to actually jump off because I got to prepare for my show in a little bit. But I want to thank you, and I want to thank Jim and Audie and everyone in the collective for all that is being done to save small businesses around America. You're all incredible. You are all heroes. I know you don't like that word necessarily, but it is true, because what is being done to save companies all over America, small businesses, it's truly incredible. So I love you all. I thank you all. and please, everybody, stay safe.
Thank you, Brian.
Really
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Man. Hi, Joanne. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm excellent, and it looks like you're in your store.
I am in my store. I'm here with Kelly.
Fantastic. Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
So, Joanne, I want to ask you a couple questions, and Jim and I will do that. But I wanted to ask you about a little bit about your business. Tell us a little bit about your business, and how the pandemic, how COVID-19 has really impacted what you do.
So I own three businesses, three small businesses. The first one is a pet sitting business. It's called Pedo Pair Inc. And I have 13 independent contractors that walk dogs. It's a full service pet sitting business. So we do everything from, walking, vacation stays, overnights, transportation. And we were running full speed. We were doing 60 dogs a day. And as soon as the shutdown came, we're now only operating. I'm at like half staff, and we're doing maybe 10 dogs a day.
Okay.
Because everybody's working from home now, if it's not essential. And then I own two pet boutiques. One is in Massachusetts, and one is just across the border in New Hampshire. And so what we had to do there was I kept my staff as best I could. We did have to change hours slightly, just because we felt like we didn't need to be open as late in the day, to cater to those after work hour people.
Right.
But we are, we're still up and running, but just smaller, shorter hours and a little bit of a smaller crew.
Okay.
We've had to change the way we did business. We had to implement curbside pickup. We also went as far as to offer home deliveries. And now, because of Keep Small Strong, we are putting together our online store just to give our customers one more way to shop with us and keep their business. And we're really excited about that.
Is that an avenue that you'd ever thought of before this happened?
I never, I have an existing website, and when I did the website, my creator had said to me, "Do you ever want to do online shopping?" And I never felt like I was going to have a need for that because my business was doing great. And my Amesbury store has been there. It'll be 16 years next month.
Wow.
And I have such a loyal following. I created a destination there. People want to support me. They want to shop local and small. And so I never felt the need. My business was booming. So much that I decided to open a second one, 20 minutes away. And here we are in New Hampshire. And I found the most gorgeous space. Everything fell into place that I felt like it was a message from the universe to tell me to do a second business. And this is the one that I felt the hit with the most since COVID struck, because here in Exeter, it became a ghost town like overnight.
So with the new online way that you're doing it, how do you think it will, how will that integrate into what you were doing, and will you continue thinking about and using this site once this is over, or we go back to some sort of normal? Do you think it is going to bring in a different avenue of business?
Well, I'm hoping so. I will keep it. Again, I think I just felt the need to offer this to my customers.
Right.
So for those that, don't even want to do curbside or aren't taking us up on home deliveries and want to shop online, I can accommodate them as well.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more stay-at-home work after this for some time, and so it might be a really good avenue. Sounds like a really good avenue for you.
Yeah, right. I think what I've seen and continue to see is that this period of time accelerated the whole notion of people adopting some of these technologies and ways of doing business, right? So all of this stuff has been available, right? But as laid out before, a lot of times it wasn't really necessary. Things were going well, things were clicking along, we're opening up more stores. But I think the availability of this and the ability for us very quickly to get something in place for a small business like this could really be meaningful, not only in the short term, but as you laid out, hopefully it's a nice channel of business long-term for you and really helps you differentiate as things get back to normal.
Yeah.
That's our hope, for sure.
So sort of one final question. Walk through what this meant to you, that somebody was willing to come in and just help you for free, try to open up a whole new channel of business. How does that make you feel?
Wild.
Yeah. Do you want me to cry right now, or do you want me to literally break down in tears?
You can cry.
I could
no,
right
no
now.
Judgment here. No judgment. You can cry.
You have no idea. Listen,
Okay.
you have no idea what this has meant to me. When one of my customers, this is how I was even introduced to Keep Small Strong. One of my customers here in Exeter mentioned it to me. I was outside sweeping on a Saturday morning out front on the sidewalk, and she stopped and wanted to tell me about it. And I said, "Oh, I love it. I'll check it out." And so I did. And before I knew it, she came back to me because I guess your team asked her if she had some of her customers' contact information, and she did. She had 9 in her phone, and I was one of the 9. So I will be forever grateful to Sarah, who owns Piper, who we love. And then literally this movement, this initiative, within the next day even, like this happened on a Wednesday, this webinar that I had with you guys. And then on Thursday, I was on the phone with Cree out of New York City, who just sort of wanted to summarize what I felt my needs were, because I had to treat all 3 businesses separately because they were all running at different speeds and what had happened to me post-COVID. And so then I was on with Celeste the next day, that Friday, who was an expert with social media and, trying to strengthen that for us, and Instagram and Facebook. And she was just so lovely and so knowledgeable, and she's helped me and Kelly tremendously with those efforts. And then I said, I think the only other thing that I need to do for my stores, because I felt pretty confident with Pet Au Pair then, my pet sitting business, was an online store. And then came Jacob and Vi. I think his team member was Vi.
I don't remember his partner's name, and I always felt awful about that.
Yeah, but it was Jacob who kind of spearheaded it. Yeah. And we were starting to go to the Shopify route, because that is the platform everybody is familiar with. And we were doing that, and it started to get really complicated for Kelly and I, and it was going to get really costly. And I thought, wait a minute, maybe the Square has their own online store. And we checked, and they did. And so I went back to Jacob and said, I really think that I need to go this route. And do you know someone in your team that can help us with that? He was like, it's me. And he raised his hand. And because of him, this is all going to happen for us. Because of him.
That's phenomenal. What are you going to be selling online? I'm fascinated by this now, because this is going to open up a whole worldwide market for you. What are you going to sell? What are you selling?
Go ahead, Cal.
Dog food and cat treats and cat food and all that for now, because we just want to just throw it out there, get it started, and then obviously go
I
towards.
see some merchandise back there.
Like that. the pillows. I mean, we have shoes, baked goods. I mean, just so many good things. But for now, we want to make sure it's off and running, at least with dog food and cat food and
the more essential items for our customers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
but Kelly's the one spearheading the whole online store with Jacob.
That's fantastic. Audie, did you have a question? Audie, did you have a question?
I just wanted to add a little bit to that. Sarah Beth Nelson, who she actually mentioned, so there was some internal conversations that happened with her, and she actually, suggested Joanne and, brought her in as well. She's amazing. She is part of Pixel. They're doing a lot of work as well. And this is really the example of a whole bunch of people from diverse backgrounds, diverse companies coming together to really take them through the paces, all the way to the finish line. Because again, Sarah is part of Pixel, who's a huge supporter, and Jacob's part of CAP, who's a huge supporter, and you've had a whole bunch of amazing volunteers like Cree and Celeste, who've actually really done some amazing work as well. And so, for us to be able to see this come to fruition is really amazing.
In such short time, too. That's what's mind blowing to me. I mean, we hit the ground running with everyone's help. I am just so touched by this, by everyone's acts of kindness and being willing to share their expertise and their knowledge at a time when I needed it. I'm forever grateful and indebted.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Capgemini, you mentioned as Cap, Audie, there are over 200,000 people around the globe, right? This is an organization that, is just like PFS. I have 600 people around the globe that work for me, and we're doing everything. Like, big companies are coming together with investments in these small businesses. But I tell you right now, your story, right, is heartfelt, and your story will keep us going, right? And I guarantee you what you just said today on the phone is going to get more people involved to help out other small businesses. So thank you for being so upfront and honest with how you feel about this effort, because people like Jacob are special, right? And organizations like Capgemini are special to come forward, and everybody, Pixel and others. And so I'm just really happy to hear the news from you that things are going so well.
Oh, yes. I love every one of you.
Well, Joanne, can you give us the website address? Sure.
It's Paws Pet Amesbury. I'll spell it. It's PAWSPETAMESBURY.com.
And if you don't mind, I can't do 50 things at once. If you go to the LinkedIn feed after this and put that into the LinkedIn feed, or just drop a message in there with that web address, so that people, because this will get rebroadcast and people will watch it the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll have lots of people watching. If you go into that LinkedIn feed and put your address, people will be able to go directly to your site. So that would be really fantastic.
Absolutely.
And then, Rhett, I think we're getting the hint that we need to move on to Michael.
Yes. Is Michael? I don't see Michael in the room.
Okay.
So I've got Julie Franklin and Nicole Nichols up next. So when Michael jumps on, when I see him in the room, I'll bring him in.
We might be capped out with the four of us. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can drop off.
We'll jump off. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm glad we could help.
Bye, Audie.
Hi, Joanne.
There's Michael.
Excellent.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm good. I could see you, but you couldn't see me. So very good.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us today. And I wanted to ask you, why did you get involved with Keep Small Strong? What was your motivation, and why did you do it?
Well, so I live in the Chicagoland area, and specifically in Evanston, Illinois, about 11 miles north of the city. And we're a really healthy community filled with all kinds of local, unique businesses, lots of coffee houses, cards and stationery shops, specialty food shops, boutiques, etc. And I live very close to Central Street in a main shopping area filled with local businesses. I love those businesses. They're part of our community. And I know with what's happening with COVID-19 and its impact, that it's having this serious impact on all these small businesses and the 99% of all businesses that are small businesses. And so I want our community to remain vital. I want these businesses to be supported. And any way I can help, either individually or be a spokesperson for this keepsmallstrong.org group, I'm totally game to do, because again, it's about community vitality and helping our community continue.
Yeah, no, indeed. And I think we all, I think as Brian said earlier, we don't want to walk out on a Saturday morning to go get our coffee or our brunch and it not be there, right? We don't, I mean, it just, that would be, if we're left with just the Ruth Chris's of the world and the chain restaurants of the world and the chain stores, that'll, to me, that would be, I don't know, awful.
Well, and we'll end up with that, or a situation where you can't even have a place to go walk in your neighborhood. So everything's been delivered to your home, which is happening now anyway. And so, I think this initiative, which is really tapping into subject matter experts of all kind and crowdsourcing help, like the story you just shared about the pets related business, amazing stories are coming out of this, and at a real time pace, which is incredible as well.
Yeah, indeed. Jim, you have any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think having you on the team has just been fantastic, right? So another great example of just people that have tremendous experience in the space that know, the story I told on Brian's show originally was, you have disasters that happen, right? So you think of Haiti's earthquake years ago, and you have these doctors that get on planes and go down there because of their education and their hands are able to save lives, right? And I always thought, wouldn't that be amazing? But that's not where I went from a career standpoint. And when this happened and Adam reached out, I just thought, and I'm sure Michael feels the same way, like it's something that we could actually help with. And this is our chance to give back. And there's people on the front line, and thank God they're there and they're doing their thing, but we feel like there's some stuff that we can do. We can bring our expertise and the scars on our back, and we can help businesses get up very, very quickly. And the story, as I said before, was just heartfelt. I'm really excited that they're doing well.
I think that's so well said. And I do feel like this is interesting dynamic and pandemic, where even though there's corporate policy and government policy, so much as this is coming down to individual acts of kindness and support, and all of us rolling up our sleeves to help individually, our neighbors, a person who's ill, the healthcare workers, or like in this initiative, local businesses that are vital to our community. That this is unique in that it's a very individualized, expressed, and supported cause.
Yeah. And lastly, I would say, I mean, it's, I would have never known. Well, I met Adi last year, but I don't know that we would have had the relationship we have today if we weren't on calls twice a day talking about how do we help small businesses. Michael, you and I, our paths may have never crossed, but now we're connected. We have common sort of morals and beliefs. And, I think that says a lot for what the future holds for our relationship.
Agree completely.
This is interesting. I think this is an interesting time because I'm on a call every day with medical professionals, and they talk about every day. They're just blown away by the collaboration between competitors, big competitors, to come up with solutions. They're working in these interconnected teams now to come up with a solution that's going to help get life back to somewhat a normal. And I look at this as sort of the same thing, right? And in a lot of ways, you guys are competitors, and you're in the same space. You're competing for business, but that doesn't matter now, because the common thread that we all have are our neighborhoods and our communities, and we want those to be vibrant. As someone said a few minutes ago, we want them to be viable. And I think it's really telling that you guys all came together to do this, and didn't have to, but you found some common things to unify, that unified you, and I find that rather amazing, and very there's a real human element to that is it's hard to put into words, but I think you guys should be commended for. Michael, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I look forward to supporting every small business we can with their go-to-market strategies and channels, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. I want to bring on Julie Franklin and Nicole Nichols from Republic Yoga. So let's see, let me do that.
Okay, so Rhett, why don't I drop off as well?
Or I can drop off as well.
Well, if you guys want to stay on, I think we did it. I think we've got them.
We got the Brady Bunch grid going on here.
Beautiful, a beautiful picture.
I didn't know if it was going to work, but it did. Hey guys.
Hi.
Tell us about Republic Yoga and how are you guys? I mean, how did you change your business when this happened? Julie, we were talking about it a few minutes ago, but I want you to tell everybody in the audience, because you're doing some really creative things, and I want to find out how you got involved with this, with Keep Small Strong, and how that's helping your business.
Yeah, so we went from having 18 teachers and roughly averaging 6 classes a day in our physical studio here in Cary, North Carolina. And we have 2 different rooms, so it allowed us to have multiple classes going on at the same time. And when all of this happened and we were forced to close, we shifted immediately to live stream. Is it recorded? We actually took about a day or 2 to just see what options we had, and that wasn't something we had really expected or ever planned on doing. I don't have any experience in videos, filming, technical, and so we made a pretty drastic shift and started offering 1 to 2 online classes daily. So we went from having live classes to being in front of a camera and figuring out all the technology that goes with that in a really short amount of time. So we had a pretty steep learning curve, I'll say. And we both kind of just put in a lot of time and effort to figure out how to keep things going, how to stay connected to our community, and how to continue to teach yoga classes.
Nicole, why was this, when you were able to get involved with Keep Small Strong, you've been running this business for a while, and why was this an important thing for you to get involved in, and how do you think it's going to help you down the road, or as this keeps going on?
Well, I think that we need support, and we need awareness of how important small businesses are. And I love everything that you all are saying about how important it is to the community. We can all get things delivered. We can all exist in our bubbles. And I think what we're finding now with this stay-at-home orders and the isolation that people are experiencing is that more than ever, community is valuable. And as scary as it is to think about losing our business, like what would happen if we had to close our doors, I feel confident that the value of a studio space is that people can come together in a community. We can all practice yoga in our living rooms. The beauty of it is you can take it anywhere. What's special about an organization like this is that we're working to protect the ability for people to come together and find peace and find community and form bonds and friendships and connections that are far beyond what we could imagine, just like what you all were saying a minute ago about your companies. And that's the one thing that keeps me feeling hopeful that will come out okay, is that when this is over, people will need to come together. And there's nothing like the experience of being in a yoga class together and going through a challenging experience together as a group and bonding through that. It's very different than experiencing it online by yourself. So, yeah.
What is for you? How is Keep Small Strong going to help your business?
We've been actually working with Adi. Adi, it's great to meet you in person.
Great to meet you.
And some of our challenges right now is a lot of this technology is new to us, and how do we get the word out? And so what Adi has been doing is helping put us in touch with people who can help us figure out how to get more out of our social media and how to improve our online offerings from a security standpoint, from a quality standpoint. How do we monetize that? One of the things we're trying to figure out is how do we create a library so that people can access it anytime, anywhere with a membership or a subscription. And other larger companies have figured out how to do this, but it's all new to us, and there are so many options and choices, and it's really hard to know what will work best for us. And so he's been helping put us in touch with people to kind of figure out what does our path look like moving forward. But once our doors open, how can we continue to offer options for people and additional services, including being back in the studio again?
Yeah, I imagine it's a complete technological upgrade, isn't it? Like a complete overhaul and rethinking of how you do it.
Absolutely.
Do you think that people are going to come back when things do open back up? Do you think it's going to be gradual, or do you think people are going to be so stir crazy and ready to come to a class that people will come right back? And if they do that, would you still continue doing this online and looking at how to transform the business in that way?
Yeah, we're definitely looking at how to continue the online and transform the business moving forward, having both options. As far as when our doors open, it's hard to say. We're trying to figure out, will there be restrictions on size limitations? We don't really know what releasing stay at home will look like. Based on people attending our online classes, our community is still very much involved and very thankful. And we've received a lot of great feedback, how it helps them still feel normal, right? There's still something familiar seeing our faces. And when we make the videos, they're not perfect production quality. We leave in our bloopers and we leave in our oopses because that's who we are. We're real and we're just like you guys. And so, I think if all else, not regarding anything else, if our doors opened, I think we would absolutely see a big influx of our community return because they miss each other.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole, what does it mean that somebody was willing to come in for free that has a background like Adi and work with you to transform a business that is near and dear to your heart, and you've put so much energy and time and everything that you have really into?
Oh, I'm just so grateful. We like I said, we're people and we're not technology people. And just having the guidance of someone who is willing to come in and coach us and help us to be the best that we can be and offer something really good and expand ourselves even beyond our doors is huge, because we really are a small business. But what's happened with our online offerings is we've reached many, many more people. I come from New York City, so I have students there who are now able to connect with us, and families, and that's amazing. And we couldn't do it without the expertise of leaders like you. And so I'm really grateful, because I've been a creative person my whole life, and Julie is my business partner, my business guru. So for us to have a big Yoda coming in to help us would just be fantastic. I think it would help us to improve and to grow and actually thrive, instead of 10.
It's a tough business as it is.
Yes.
I know a little bit about the business. It's a tough business as it is. And so having somebody to come in and actually help do something that actually would have been great, even if we weren't going through this, right, would have been maybe a great business move to begin with.
That's right.
It's definitely necessary now.
Yeah, and I think, thank you very much for this opportunity, because we do need help and we can't do it by ourselves. And this is tough. Yeah. So thank
this
you.
would have been hard to pay for, I think, in normal times, I would imagine.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Because it's not inexpensive advice and help and consulting that you're getting. I think it's interesting.
Not at all. And I've been thinking, well, who do I know that I can reach out to that might be willing to help us, guide us a little bit, because it's incredibly valuable. And we thank you so much for your time today, especially, and for meeting with us.
Well, we get out of bed in the morning now because of people like yourself, right? We're really excited to help, and glad you're here, and glad you're doing well. And I love the reach aspect of it. You think of Peloton and what they're doing and the ability to reach everywhere. Hopefully what you see as things get back to normal, that it's a whole nother revenue stream for you, and the ability to have folks that move out of town are still able to connect and be, part of that fabric. But I know, Michael, you and Adi need to jump for another call, and I think we have another guest coming up next. But best of luck to you, and I'm glad we're able to help.
I was going to say namaste.
Namaste. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rhett.
Thank you. Julie and Nicole, if you guys in the LinkedIn feed, if you could put the website address for Republic Yoga, that would be great, so that people can get directly to your site and follow you and maybe even take a class from you online. That would be great.
The first one's free. So.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'll be joining, I think.
Thanks.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. No. That doesn't sound good.
That does not sound good. Okay, I'll bring Eric back in just a second. We were getting some feedback.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, I think that's coming from your end.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll bring him back in just a second. I'm going to bring in Jan. Jan, hello.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. How are you today?
I'm good. Welcome to my house.
Well, it's good to have you and good to be with you. So tell us about your business and how you came to get involved with Keep Small Strong and how it's helped you.
Oh, it's helped me tremendously. It's been a whirlwind. Like 3 days ago, I was like, don't make any money. And then in 2 days, it's like an online store. Jewelry is something I've been doing since I was very young. And I had an jeweler and I played with his tools. And I was really just making jewelry for myself. And I said, oh, I like that. Make one for me. Total strangers would see me designing and say, oh, I want one of those too. And so it just snowballed into a little business. And yeah, that's how it started many years ago.
Well, that's really fascinating. How did you get involved, and how do you see Keep Small Strong helping you get through this crisis and come out on the other end even a better business?
Definitely a better business. Did not have a very strong online presence. A lifesaver, I guess. I've been selling the pearls for 2 decades, but with the economy, there's been ebb and flow, and it was just good. So it's like, okay, just after there's a resurrection to my to my business. I teach ballroom dance, and that's actually my what I realized. And my teaching went totally to zero. And so to have this come back at this time, just awesome. Eddie's a neighbor of mine. I saw him just on next door, and he just got going so quickly. Like I said, it's been overwhelming, and I'm a little bit struggling to catch up with things so dormant and get it up and running again. But
Well, it's amazing that you've got involved, and do you what is the organization working? What is Audi working with you on?
I got Shopify business, and then getting shipping, making shipping easier. I've done that already, but it's not streamlined. I understand his speed methods, though. He's a pro, so he just jumps in and gets running very quickly, which is good. I feel that's necessary, and I do that myself when I'm procuring things that I need. But on the other end, the salesmanship, I think I'm pretty good at, but the business mechanics, I am terrible at. So this is just a huge thing. So thankful, and I'm so excited.
Well, thank you so much, and it's good to see that it's helping and working for you. What does it mean to you that somebody was willing, an organization was willing to come in and just help you free of charge, help your business stay afloat and maybe even grow at the end of this?
Definitely grow. Human kindness, save humanity. The whole crisis, immediately, everyone's scared and comparing to the pandemic movies and how people create pandemic movies. But every time I've been out for groceries, people have actually been super patient and super helpful. And so I think this brings out creativity. This brings out actually human compassion. This has actually been, the side effect is actually good in that we're looking out and reaching out to help each other. This is a good thing. Obviously, nobody else getting sick. So enjoy the positive effect and keep it going after the pandemic is over.
Great. Well, thank you so much and good luck. Jim, did you have any
No, I mean, similar sort of message. I just wanted to say thanks for coming on. We're really excited to have you. As Rhett talked about before, make sure you go to his LinkedIn page and put the URL of the site when it's out. You're in good hands with Adi, and he's connected across the entire collective that we have. And so, so best of luck to you. And it really makes a difference to hear such a great story from you. So thanks.
Thank you.
Great. And I think, I know we're running out of time. Rhett, do you want to try to get Eric back?
Yeah, I'm going to try to bring Eric back on. Eric?
Thank you.
Hey, is that any better?
Hey, Eric. Are you there?
Is that better for you? You still getting that feedback?
Much better.
That's good. Sorry about that.
Well, it's good to have you back on, and I'm glad we were able to get you on. Eric, what motivated you to get involved with Keep Small Strong and play such a big role?
Yeah, I think, look, I mean, we've heard, by the way, thank you for having us. And it's been a tremendous show so far. I think, I've heard the word community over and over and over again with all the guests that have been on. And I think when it comes down to it, these small businesses are the souls of our community. When my wife and I moved our family out from Brooklyn to the Jersey suburbs, we weren't just looking for a house. We wandered around the town and wanted to get a feel for the town. And that's what you run into. You see all the shops lining the streets, and our first friends in town were all these small business owners, right. Our butcher, the restaurant owners, the bar owners, a yoga studio. One of our dear friends runs one in town. So I think, we have to protect our communities. And for me, it was just a question of what role can I play? And I think we all sat around just going, I'm not exactly sure how to help. And like so many of the others on the call, when Adam, hit me up, it was the perfect opportunity for me to jump in. And, while I don't bring the sort of back end and e-commerce and digital expertise that some of these other folks do, Adam needed a hand, with the platform, with the brand, with the messaging, the visual identity, the positioning. So that's where I was able to come in with a background in creative and advertising.
What is I'm glad I have the both of you on now, because I wanted to ask, what are some of the key things that people can get help with?
Sure. You want to take that, Eric? Or you want me to?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's 4 categories. So e-commerce, right? So standing up a site, as we talked about before, awareness. So whether it's through a marketplace that we've designed and developed right on the .org site, or through digital marketing channels and other social channels. Logistics, helping companies think through, if they're shipping online already, how do they do curbside pickup, pickup in store, things like that. And then other things that we're offering that are being introduced by UPS and others, discounts, special offers and things like that. So those are the areas that we're really trying to help these small businesses with.
Okay. And what can you talk a little bit about? I want to give shout outs to all all the key people who organized this. I know Adam, but I just met. I'm just meeting Eric, and I'm just meeting you, Jim. Who else is involved? The sponsors, the organizations that are really sort of donating time and people and resources to get behind this.
Yeah, some of the key ones from a contribution from this collective is AgnoStack, which is Adam's company. He's got a busy day job and he's just leading the charge. Astound Commerce is a big commerce provider for big companies. Capgemini I talked about before. Envoy, Good. Liveberry is the business I run, which is it's a commerce company focused on delivering large enterprise commerce solutions for big brands. PFS, which is my parent company that offers all of the logistics, all the post-click experiences. So we've been helping out the initial bakery with some abilities to ship online and do things more efficiently. Pixel, really specialized in commerce, as well as Taos, which is the company that Adi's in. There are other major firms out there that are contributing, and they're still trying to get permission to use their name on our site, so I'll keep them quiet for now. But let's just say there's other big names that everybody would know in the digital space that are contributing. So if you're not on that list, we'd love to have you participate in this.
And you had mentioned UPS and others who are doing some things. What are they helping with?
Yeah, so in the case of UPS, it's all evolving right now, but they are helping us with discounted shipping rates. They're helping out with specialized one-on-one sort of consultation, and they're basically raising their hands to say, how can we help, which is just amazing. And then we have other technology companies like Shopify, and they're really working with small businesses, but they have 90 days free to use their platform. So they're doing some great things there. We have companies, such as Zendesk, for example, that is allowing us to manage all of the orchestrate basically everybody coming in and making sure that we don't miss a beat with these folks that are in need. And so there's just a bunch of different technologies. Algolia really helping us with the search of our store or our storefront. So it's been really a great collective of technology companies and service companies.
Fantastic. Well, again, I applaud what you guys are doing. Anything that we can do, anything I can do to support that, I'm happy to do. Having been a small business owner, I get it and know how tough it is just on a day-to-day basis. With this, it's definitely hard. So
I know Adam wanted to just jump in real quick and say hi. I mean, he is the guy. So Adam, if you're there.
Got him in. All right, there's Adam. Let's bring Adam on.
There he is.
Hello there, everyone. How's it going? Hello, Rhett. Hello, Jim. Hello, Eric.
Fantastic. How are you?
What's up, Adam?
been following along on the live stream, and just wanted to pop in real quick and say hello and thank you so much for helping get the word out. For anybody who hasn't been there, keepsmallstrong.org or Keep Small Strong across our social channels. But huge kudos to you guys. I've known Jim, I've known Eric, I've known a ton of the other folks involved, Ilya from Astound, and a whole bunch of the other teams for the better part of 20 years, and it's just been an honor and a privilege doing what we can to help these small businesses. So just want to say hello real quick. Great to see everyone's face, and thank you, Rhett.
Well, tell me, Adam, I want to know one story from all of this that just makes you smile, makes you happy, and that just says this was all worth it.
I will give the proverbial teaser, actually, which is where all this started from, this amazing bakery down in Miami, Le Artisan Creative Bakery, who's one of my favorite businesses down in Miami, run into some trouble. I personally wanted to reach out and help. And now we've done a tremendous job to help them from not selling it all online, doing several hundred orders. Carolina, the owner and chef, is actually going to join this evening's broadcast with you. 5 p.m. time. So for anybody who'd love to hear a bit more about the story, tune in 5 p.m. Pacific.
All right, fantastic. We'll look forward to that, and we'll talk to Carolina about how this has helped. I can't wait to do that. Thank you all for very much. Thank you in the audience for being here with us today. I hope you learned about this movement, and I hope you have already gone to the website to see how you can get involved, because it is vital that we take care of our community. And thank you for spending some time with us today here on the Power Lunch. You can go to Power Lunch Live to find out our upcoming schedule. Got a great show lined up tonight, talking again about Keep Small Strong as a special edition of the show. And we also have our regular show tomorrow afternoon. So until tonight, we'll see you then. Have a great day and keep small strong.
Thanks,
Thank you, Rhett.
Thanks.